My ambition to pursue a professional career pitted me against thousands of young women from all over the world who came from large, successful, critically acclaimed ballet academies. And I had to really struggle and push myself in order to fill the gaps in my ballet education and become employable. Happily, I succeeded in carving out a career for myself and was extremely fortunate over the course of my 15 years as a professional dancer to work with some of the world's most celebrated artists and teachers. I knew I wanted to come back to Topeka and share this hard-won knowledge with the next generation of ballet students in my own hometown. I believe passionately that as the capital city of Kansas, Topeka deserves the kind of high-quality ballet programming found in other capital cities worldwide. By necessity, classical ballet must be handed down from those who have gone before. Each generation of dancers feels an obligation to preserve the living history of classical ballet by teaching and empowering the next generation. I like to feel that I'm constantly learning and developing myself to be better in some way. As a ballerina, there's unlimited possibility to improve and hone your craft, and you are surrounded by people who push you to stretch past your limits on a daily basis. Literally. More than just training people to point their feet and spin on one leg, I believe strongly in the life lessons ballet teaches our young people, girls especially. Self-discipline, confidence, physical fitness, time management skills, creative self-expression, respect for self and others, stress release, joy of movement and music. The list goes on and on. So my advice is dream big, work hard, embrace setbacks as a teaching tool, and you will get where you want to go. Never give up.
I love Topeka. It has the charm of a grown-up small town, and it is a joy to help move Topeka forward, working with like-minded citizens. As I accept the Community Service Award, I want to share it with the amazing women who are part of the many teams on which I served, and also to recognize emerging female leaders with whom I'm mentoring. My staffs and volunteer committees have been mostly comprised of women. Together, we change the face of neighborhoods, like the Carousel in the Park project, and the most notable project, the creation of the Noto Arts District in historic North Topeka. The first 3 studios and businesses were renovated and opened by women. My friend Barbara Waterman Peters was the pioneer, the first to step forward. She was an inspiration to other women to join them in the Noto Arts District. And 5 years later, nearly every business of the nearly 30 businesses is either owned by a woman or by a woman and her spouse or family member. What a celebration, not only for the arts, but for women. As I prepare to pass the baton to newer generation of leaders in our community, it's a true pleasure to mentor and help empower promising younger women. The advice I would give to women is to find a project that matches your passion, develop an overall goal and a personal goal within the project, and keep your eye on that goal. And most importantly, surround yourself with strong, smart, like-minded women.
My driving force has to be the needs I see every day in the school that I serve. Education, a good education, is the gatekeeper between poverty and prosperity, failure and success, a few options, and full opportunity. When I step into the halls and the classrooms of Highland Park High School, I see faces full of hope and excitement, and I know that I personally cannot fail them, nor allow the staff that I lead to fail them. Optimism is contagious. Faith brings an open mind. Open minds can absorb anything, and open minds are primed for a good education. The individual who impacted my life most is my mother. Though she died when I was still a teenager, she taught me so many things until that time that shaped my character and my goals. She was a kind and beautiful person. She was firm in her expectations, yet rarely raised her voice. She raised 4 daughters to become strong women who used their talents and skills to benefit others. Observing her commitment to her husband, her daughters, her church, her community, and her city planted in me the desire to follow her model. Even though she has been gone for nearly 45 years, I always feel highly complimented when one of her friends or acquaintances says to me, "You remind me so much of your mother." That is probably the greatest compliment I will ever receive. I truly believe that God's greatest gift to man is a woman. We bring energy, intellect, insight, and vision to every situation. We inject humor, optimism, and wisdom into any conversation. We diffuse tension and inspire collaboration. We just have it like that. When we can look in the mirror daily and remind ourselves that we are God's final crowning creation and not just an afterthought, we have experienced the true revelation of our individual potential.
My first professional mentors came as a group. Upon my graduation from law school, I was blessed by joining a law firm, Goodell, Stratton, Edmonds, Palmer, and Wright, where all the partners advised, coached, and brokered opportunities for my exposure to new experiences, responsibilities, and leadership roles. I relied on each of them at different times and in different ways. In listing 3 keys to being an effective mentor, I first suggest that establishing a relationship built on open communication and trust is essential. Second, be a facilitator, not a decision maker. And third, respect the relationship. A relationship built on open communication and trust requires getting to know your protege or mentee, understanding her, and always listening. An effective mentor facilitates rather than direct. In other words, share ideas, provide resources, and when asked, offer advice, but don't solve problems for your mentee or direct her action. My third key of effective mentoring is to respect the mentoring relationship. Be open and honest. Share your stories of success, but also those of mistakes and failures. Remember, your respect for the relationship will be a model for your mentee. And don't be surprised when you find you have gained a great deal from the relationship. Few things are more rewarding than seeing the success of someone you have mentored. Reach one, teach one, and celebrate success.
My motivation is very self-driven. I get a big charge out of conquering obstacles and making things happen, especially when it helps me grow. So whether the wins are large or small, personal or professional, they're addictive and I want more. I think I've been an entrepreneur since grade school. In middle school, I started a ballet class teaching the neighborhood girls. Later, I became a record-breaking Girl Scout cookie seller. The Augusta Daily Gazette even published a photo of me selling cookies to the mayor, which looked like I was making him an offer he couldn't refuse. So founding MB Piland Advertising and Marketing in 1998 was just a natural progression. I have 3 bits of advice. 1, surround yourself with smart people. Seek out advisors, employees, and teammates who are smarter than you are. If you let them, they will challenge you and teach you and make you much better than you can ever be on your own. 2, never believe you can't do it. And 3, I like to say, will I be proud to tell my mother I did this? Don't sacrifice your integrity and your honesty to advance your business. It will never ever be worth it.
Achievements are typically those kinds of things that have taken a lot of effort and require perseverance and skill, and for which you might have received recognition by your peers. But for me, it's really more about adding value to everything I touch and everyone I meet. In Boy Scout terms, the organization that nominated me for this award, it would be something like, did I leave the campsite better than I found it? I've had a very full and rewarding career in education, rising to an administrative level that's traditionally been a male-dominated position, that of superintendent of schools. I've always been very aware of the responsibility I have to set a positive example for other women and to encourage them to embrace professional growth opportunities and accept any obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as challenges that can be overcome with persistence and competence and just a laser-like focus on your goals. I also know that I owe a debt of gratitude to the efforts of the talented and supportive women who've come before me. I've tried to pay it forward by providing any support and momentum I can for the women who are the rising stars not only in my profession, but in the larger community. One of my favorite quotes is from Will Rogers. He said, "Even if you are on the right track, you're going to get run over if you just sit there. So participate, contribute, do something that will add value." Some of the things that have been my guiding principles over the years are these beliefs. Always treat people the way you would want to be treated. When faced with difficult decisions, always do the right thing. Don't settle for mediocrity in yourself or others. And lastly, always do one more thing than you think you can.